Today, I took the title screen level from Super Mario 3D World and made it into a playable level in Bowser's Fury. We start the game by falling down, and instead of landing on First Step Island, Mario lands with his head onto the title screen island. You can see I've made some changes here, and I've added some things to collect. It's raining, and there's a large Bowser in the background. It's funny that this path has a very sharp cutoff point here, because the camera doesn't normally zoom out this far in the title screen of Super Mario 3D World, and the majority of the level's decorations like trees and flowers are in view of where the camera normally is. Instead of regular Goombas, there are now Goombas with cat ears and fur because almost everything has cat ears in the game Bowser's Fury. You can jump off of this island into the Goop if you want Mario to get damage, and there aren't any invisible walls preventing you from doing so. So you can see that there are some key pieces that you have to collect to unlock the warp box at the top of the level, so let's look around this level and collect the keys. I made this question mark block give you a mushroom, and these other bricks break into nothing. We've got to keep an eye out on a fire flower so that we can get the key piece that's inside the pipe. Mario climbs up a tree and gets the first key piece. You can see that from behind the level, there's no graphical wall here because you can't normally see the level from this angle. And although it looks like there's nothing here, the wall is solid and you can't go through this space. This is similar to what we've seen in other parts of the game when we explored Super Mario 3D World with my Zero Gravity mod. So we climb up the next tree and we get the next key piece. We head on up the level, and you can see that there's a key piece floating way up here, too high to reach. How can you reach this? If you try to do a ground pound and a jump to reach it, you'll learn that there's an invisible block here. But even with this invisible block hit, it still looks like this block is just slightly too high to get on top of. So what we'll do is a 300 IQ play where you jump on top of the locked warp box, and you can get the key piece from here. And this should be possible without even using the invisible block. So you might be wondering, where could this fire flower be? There's some suspicious looking ground over here, and if you ground pound on this hill, there's a buried item and a fire flower pops out. Mario shoots his fireballs into the pipe, destroying the spiky things. He gets the final key piece, and the warp box becomes usable. Once you step into the warp box, it teleports you to a new island, and you get a key piece right away, right when you spawn out of the warp box. It looks like you need some more key pieces for another warp box on this island, and this key piece is inside of the area that you can't normally access. Once you step out of this area, you can't get back in, so that's why I made it so that you get the key piece right away, right when you take the warp box. You might have noticed the locked warp box that's under the stairs, so let's look around for some more key pieces so we could use this warp box. You can see a key piece up at the top of the level, and this time there's a super bell inside the pipe. So let's use our fire flower to have a safe path through the pipe and get the cat bell power up. We head on up past the pipe and we get the next key. We still can't access this warp box that's under the stairs because you need 2 more key pieces. And you can see to the side that there's a ship here, and Bowser is in the background too. This is the ship that's normally in the background of World 3-5, as you normally take a pipe through the level, and I thought a shipwrecked ship would be a nice addition to the stormy night atmosphere of Bowser's Fury. At the side of this island, I added a tower of stone blocks that you could climb up for a key piece, and as you turn around, facing towards Bowser, there's a key piece that's high up and far away, and it looks like it's going to be a tough jump. We get a spin jump, and a cat swipe, and we just get the cat piece. The next warp box is going to be ready now. And the lighting here looks really cool. I put the level up really high and it ended up looking like this, and I kind of like it. It's definitely really unique compared to what you normally see in the game. I added a platforming part to this level where you have to make a few jumps, and there are some switches that flip when you jump, and you didn't just see anything strange falling in the background, did you? The reason that this area looks so strange is because we're currently near a title screen map, and we're very high up in the sky, and you can see it as it loads in. And hey look, it's a giant Koopa over there at that island. But our warp box is already ready, and we head into the warp box. You might be wondering what's over at this island with the giant enemies, so let's head on over there. I also lowered the level a bit so that the lighting is a bit more normal now. And these big guys look pretty intimidating. There's a giant Koopa, a giant Spiny, and a giant Goomba. They look like they're just vibing to some music right now. Look at that Koopa bobbing its head. I wanted to take out these giant enemies. They're only scaled up, but their hitboxes still work just like they normally do when they're normal enemies, so the Spiny goes away. It's hilarious to see a regular-sized shell appear when you first hit the giant Koopa, and the Goomba reminds me of my "How big can you make Goombas in Super Mario 3D World" video. And the lighting up here is really cool as well. This is probably my favorite scene that we've seen so far in the video. When you get into the warp box, Fury Bowser is woken up now. What an intense moment as this giant Bowser is getting ready to start shooting fire at Mario. And yes, I did scale up this Bowser to be bigger, and if you're interested in more of that, you might like my How Big Can You Make Bowser in Bowser's Fury video. Mario runs along the island frantically, trying to avoid the fire, when he sees a sign that's pointing to the left and a question mark block that is up high. Mario hits the block, a Mega Mushroom pops out, making Mario giant. You might be wondering what happens if you get a Mega Mushroom and Giant Mario walks towards Fury Bowser. And if you thought that a Super Bell power-up spawns when you go between Bowser's legs, you're right, that is exactly what happens. Now let's go back to completing the level. Mario jumps into the Goop and starts heading to the next nearby island. It's funny that when Mario steps into the Goop, he floats for a moment before he starts walking. The island is too high for Mega Mario to jump onto, so he has to wait to turn small before jumping, wall jumping, and doing a dive onto the island, but if you mess it up, Mario falls into the Goop and you have to start over from the very beginning of the level. So here we go again, and this time my jump was good, so I made it up onto the island without even needing to do a wall jump and dive, and we see a small stone block prison here. It looks like it's a bit too high for Mario to get in, whether we are doing jumps or spin jumps or ground pound jumps, and then wall jumps and dives, we're not able to make it into it. And there are also protruding spikes on the island and fireballs falling from the sky. So little Mario has to be careful here because there's a lot going on here. This question mark block here should give us a propeller box once we hit it, but let's head into the prison first. Mario jumps, wall jumps off of the prison, then dives forward, and he makes it onto the top part. There's a P-switch inside, so Mario drops down, and you hear the sound of a catshine spawning when Mario lands on the switch. Mario does wall jumps to get out of the prison, and heads on over to the question mark block. Let's just get this propeller box and head on up to the catshine, and... oh, and it just gives a coin. That's because it's supposed to be Box Propeller instead of Propeller Box. If you put Propeller Box instead of Box Propeller, then you just have a coin spawn. So let's do everything all over again, and this time, a propeller box spawns, and Mario jumps up. I adjust the camera angle so we get a better look at the giant Fury Bowser, and we can see the look on his face when we finally get the catshine, and there we go. The title screen Showdown catshine has been obtained. In yesterday's video, I tested what happens if you put items and enemies on the world map in Super Mario 3D World, and I had a lot of great suggestions of other stuff to test in the comments. I'll most likely post a few extra short clips on my Twitter or on my second YouTube channel, which is used mostly for YouTube Shorts. All the links are going to be in the video description if you are interested in more. Using the title screen of Super Mario 3D World to create a mod level in Bowser's Fury was a really fun experiment. And if you're interested in more experiments and testing what is possible in games, you might enjoy some of my other videos. I hope that you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, everybody.